All right. David Lynn, has he been brought out or is he here in court?
He's in court.
All right, Mr. Lynn, come forward. All right, and counsel, you're on this side.
Oh, okay.
Sir, please
Yes.
move this closer to your counsel. Thank you.
Thank you, Norma. James Seeloff.
James Seeloff for the defense.
All right, the court
Seeloff.
is calling 2024 CR 5072, State of Texas versus David Michael Lynn. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state
Andrew Harris Sadelman.
defense?
James Seeloff.
And are you Mr. Lynn?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you entered a plea of guilty on June 27th. And according to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 14 months in the state jail facility. The state opposes your application. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, I have.
All right, any objections?
No objections.
All right,
Although he does say that he can live with his parents as opposed to being homeless.
okay.
Is that correct? Yes.
All right, so the state is opposed to your application. Any witnesses, defense?
No, Your Honor.
State, do you have any witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
All right, the court will hear argument.
Your Honor, my client has never been on felony probation and he's never had the theft course. And I asked the court to take a look at the offense itself and what was stolen. He was homeless at the time and currently he says that he can live with his parents. And I asked the court respectfully to consider probation.
All right, Mr. Lynn, if you can raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
David Lind.
All right, counsel, would you wish for your client just to talk to the court or do you have questions?
No, I would like my client to address the court.
I'm just living in my parents' house. I'll be taking care of them. My mom has dementia and my dad can barely walk. So I'm kind of like their caretaker.
All right, when people are on probation in this court, I don't allow them to be home healthcare
Oh,
providers.
no, I'm not getting paid for it. I go over there and help them out.
Okay.
Yes.
Why were you not doing this before you picked up these new cases?
I've been going over there.
Mhm.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so here's the court's concern. Looking at your criminal history, you have a criminal trespass. You were placed on deferred adjudication. The motion was withdrawn after a motion to revoke was filed and the case was dismissed. Then you had a theft case in 1995. You were granted 6 months probation. A motion to revoke was filed, then withdrawn. Case was closed. In 1996, you had a driving while intoxicated case. You were given 6 months probation. A motion to revoke was filed. Probation was revoked. You were sentenced to 30 days in the Bexar County Jail. Then in 1997, you had assault, bodily injury, married. You were given deferred adjudication. A motion to adjudicate guilt was filed. You were revoked, sentenced to 6 months. In 1997, you had a driving while license suspended. Your probation was revoked. You were sentenced to 52 days in the Bexar County Jail. And then also in 1997, you had another driving while license suspended, 6 months in the Bexar County Jail. November 1997, driving while license suspended, 6 months in the Bexar County Jail. July 1999, driving while license invalid, enhanced. You were given probation for a year. Motion to revoke was filed. You were sentenced to 6 months in the Bexar County Jail. 2003, you had a theft, $5,500. You were sentenced to 90 days in the Bexar County Jail. 2006, you had a driving while license invalid. You were sentenced to 30 days in the Bexar County Jail. 2006, you had a theft, $50 to $500. You were sentenced to 45 days in the Bexar County Jail. 2006, you had a driving while license invalid, enhanced. You were sentenced to 30 days in the Bexar County Jail. 2007, you have a driving while license invalid. You were sentenced to 30 days in the Bexar County Jail. 2007, you had a criminal trespass to habitation or shelter. You were sentenced to 75 days in the Bexar County Jail. 2023, you had a criminal trespass to private property. You were sentenced to 26 days in the Bear County Jail. 2007, you had a theft under $1,500 enhanced. You were sentenced to 6 months in the state jail facility. 2008, you had a theft under $1,500 enhanced. And a motion to revoke was filed, and you were continued on probation. And then you were revoked and sentenced to 6 months in the state jail facility. 2010, you had a theft, $1,500 enhanced. You were sentenced to 8 months in the state jail facility. 2012, you had a theft under $1,500 enhanced. You were sentenced to 10 months in the state jail facility. 2013, you had a theft under $1,500 enhanced. You were sentenced to 12 months in the state jail facility. 2013, you had a theft under $1,500 enhanced. That was dismissed. You were convicted of another offense instead of that. 2014, you had a theft under $1,500 enhanced. You were sentenced to 4 months in the state jail facility and given a judgment satisfied under 1244. 2015, you had a theft under $1,500 enhanced. You were sentenced to 12 months in the state jail facility. August 2015, you had a theft under $1,500 enhanced. That was dismissed. You were convicted of another offense. 2023, you had a theft under $2,500 enhanced. You were convicted of another offense. And then now we have your current offense. Then out of county in Guadalupe County, you have a theft of property. You were sentenced to 60 days. You had a driving while license invalid. You were sentenced to 127 days in New Braunfels. Then in 2007, you had a reckless driving. You were sentenced to 20 days. Then in Travis County, you had a theft, $1,500, 2 or more previous convictions, and you were sentenced to 6 months in the state jail facility. So the question becomes, why do you not stop stealing?
Because I had a gambling problem.
All right. Is there anything else?
That's it.
All right. The court is going to find you guilty. The court will deny your application. The court will sentence you to 14 months in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Did you review the document
Ma'am,
entitled
hang on.
Court Certification of Defendant's
Ma'am,
Rights to
we're-
Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it?
When me and him were on
Because
the,
this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not
I
have the
told
court's
my attorney I
permission to
wanted to
appeal.
fire him.
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Good luck to you.
Ma'am,
Thank you, Your Honor.
Here. Yes.
Thank you.
And that's the verdict for David Lynn. Despite arguments that he could live with his parents and help care for them, the judge wasn't swayed. Looking at Lynn's record, decades of thefts, trespassing, DWIs, and revoked probations, the court saw not just one mistake, but a lifetime pattern. Lynn tried to explain it away as gambling addiction, but the judge had heard enough. 14 months in state jail, with credit for time served, was the final word. This case shows the limits of second chances. At some point, the record outweighs the excuses, but here's the bigger question: when does rehabilitation give way to punishment? Should longtime repeat offenders still get the benefit of treatment, or is jail the only option left?